Hello everyone and welcome to the virtual class. So today I'll be talking about the waterfall of cash flows. Waterfall structures in private equity refers to the way in which the profits are distributed among the stakeholders such as the general partners and limited partners. So general partners are the one who manages the account of the fund, and then the limited partners are the one who are going to invest the money into the fund. So there are the investors, the limited partners, and general partners are the fund managers. Now, this structure ensures that the profits are distributed in fair and agreed upon manner. So there are several steps in waterfall distribution in a private equity. So let's look into those steps. So the first step will be return of capital. So this means that the initial investments made by the limited partners is returned before any profits are distributed. As far as the preferred return goes, so after the return of capital, the limited partners may be entitled to a preferred return, also known as the hurdle rate. Now, this is specified rate of return, typically expressed as a percentage, and that must be achieved before general partners receive any share of their profits. Then we have a catch-up provision, which is very important. Some waterfall structures include catch-up provision. This will allow general partners to catch up and receive a larger share of the profits until they have received, a certain percentage of the total profits. And then the last one we have is profit split. So once this preferred return and any catch-up provisions have been satisfied, the remaining profits are typically split between the general partners and the limited partners. Industry-wide common ratio, the split ratio is 80-20. So 80% goes to the limited partners, 20% will go to the general partners. So let's take a look into an example I found from the CFA curriculum. Just going to help us understand the waterfall of these cash flows. So here in this example, we have a private equity firm that invested 100 million to purchase a property. Okay, there is a soft hurdle of 8%. For the limited partners or the investors. Catch-up clause is 80-20. Remember, this split is not based on the total profit, okay, of 60 million. This split is calculated on a preferred return, and I'll come to this in a minute. And at the end of these 2 years, the property was sold for 160 million. So we have a profit of 60 million. If we calculate a return, so this is going to be a non-cumulative return. So you can punch in 100 million present value negative, then we have 160 million future value, number of years equals to 2, and then we can solve for I, which is going to be 27% approximate. As I said earlier, it's going to be a non-cumulative return. So we clearly see that the limited partners or the fund manager was able to meet the soft hurdle of 8%, right? So the return was 27%. They were able to get to meet or beat the soft hurdle. So they will be qualified to have a catch-up. So let's construct a waterfall cash flows. Now, as we said earlier, the limited partners will get their initial 100 million of investment, right? So they will get that first. After that, the limited partners will get 8% preferred soft hurdle return. So 8% of 100 is going to be 8 million. It's going to be for 2 years. So they're going to get 16 million back. And then the third step, because the general partners met the soft hurdle, they will share in for the larger profit. Now, this number, as I said earlier, not based on the 60 million profit. The third step for the catch-up is based on the preferred return of 8%. Okay. So the key to remember here is that the catch-up is calculated based on the preferred return, and it would also follow 80-20 split. Now, in this example, we saw earlier that 16 million went to limited partners, right? So this 16%, this 16 million is just represents the 80% of the split, right? So what about the remaining split? 20% split that will go to the general partners. So how do we calculate the 20% split? So 16 million is 80%, right? So if we divide 16 million by 80%, we're gonna get 20 million. So 20 million is the total number, of which 16 million will go to the limited partners, and then the 4% will, or the 4 million will go to the general partners, right? So we have 20 mil, of which 80%, which is 16 million, go to the limited partners, and then the 20%, which is 4 million, will go to general partners. And if you have difficulty, dividing 16 by 80 and how do you come up with the 20, you can also think about 16 million. So you know that 8% of 100 for 2 years gonna give 16 million. So 16 million is 80% of what number? So let's say X, right? So 16 mil is equals to 80x upon 100. So X is equals to 20, right? So you can also figure this out in this way. So 16 million is 80% of X, and then you can say, well, the X is 20. Out of the 20 million, 80%, which is 16 million, went to the limited partners, and then the 4 will go to the general partners. Now let's look into, so let's fill our spots here. So 4 million went to the general partners. So far the property was sold for 160. Out of that, 100 million went to our limited partners, another 16 went to the limited partners, and then 4 went to the general partners. So we remain with 40 million. Now the 40 million will have a 80-20 split, right? So 40 million, 80%, and then you're gonna have 20% split. So that's gonna be 32 million. Well, that's gonna go to limited partners, and then 8 million will go to the general partners. So there you have it. So 32, and it's gonna be 8 million here. So the total payout is going to be 148 and 12. Okay, so there you have it. As far as the private equity goes, it is important to note that specific terms of waterfall structure can vary widely and are negotiated as a part of the limited partnership agreement. So remember, each private equity fund may have a unique waterfall structure based on the preferences and the agreements of the parties involved. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, share and subscribe to the channel, and have the notification bell turned on. Drop a comment down below with your thoughts, suggestions, or any topics you would like me to cover in the future videos. So till then, see you in the next video. Thank you so much.